Good morning and welcome to Yoga Inspired Movement. We are starting in a chair today because we're going to be working on our feet in just a minute, and I thought it would be easier to get to our feet from a chair rather than sitting on the floor as we got started. And I also have a blanket next to me because we're going to be standing on either a blanket or a sort of flat pillow, or if you have a foam pad, as we would stand on our surface for a little uneven activation of the feet. So here we are in our chair. Let's just go ahead and roll the shoulders a couple times. And you can roll forward and back with that if you'd like. And then let's bring the arms up overhead and just lengthen our bodies. And just, you're sitting in a chair, which can feel a little bit different than sitting on the floor. Maybe reach one arm and lengthen one side of the body and then the other. And for some of you, you're going to think, oh, this is so much more comfortable. Sitting in the chair gives me some support. My feet are connected to the ground and the earth. Others might think, oh, this is not as comfortable. And then let's bring the hands down to the lap. And again, let's just do a little gentle shoulder roll here. Breathe in through your nose. Let your shoulders lift up towards your ears. Exhale, let the shoulders come down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, let the shoulders lift, fill the ribs. And then exhale, shoulders come down, settle into your seat. One more big breath in, purposely lifting the shoulder blades and the shoulders, and then exhale, let your shoulders sink down, let your hands rest in your lap, close your eyes. With eyes closed, feel the seat underneath you today, which can feel quite a bit different than when we are sitting down on our mats. Maybe you can feel the surface of the chair meeting your pelvis, back of your legs. And take note if you're gently leaning to one side more heavily than the other, and try to even that out, making those subtle adjustments. Scan your body from the top of your head to your toes. Just gently check in from the top of the head down toward the toes. See if there are any areas of your body you can relax and soften. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Breathe in with me. Exhale long and slowly. Inhale for Om when you're ready. Bow your head, release your hands. Open your eyes, lift your head, and let your head just slowly do a little roll. We don't often roll our necks, but it's okay to occasionally just let your head sort of roll, especially if your spine is lined up under you. Just feel, and if you hear those crunching noises, that's normal. You're just not normally paying attention to them. Once you've gone once or twice in one direction, maybe let your head roll in the other direction. Hands are supported on your lap. And then come back to center, roll the shoulders a couple times. And then come back to center. We're going to do a little chin tuck where we bring the chin back towards the neck and lengthen the back of your neck. And release. So a little chin tuck. Tuck your chin, lengthen the back of the neck. So make your little double chin and relax one more time. Pull the chin in, lengthen the back of the neck, and release. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away. Gently lift up towards the sky. We'll do a little side bend over to the right, just gently. And to center, a little gentle side bend, other side. Back to center, let the hands come down and keep the fingers interlaced as you flex and extend your wrist with the palms facing your lap. Sit down, warm up the hands just a little bit. And then reverse prayer, so the back of the palms together. Elbows down, shoulders relaxed. And then shake out your hands a little bit. Just here at the side, shake them out. If you're leaning back against your chair, come away from it a little bit so you can move your body over your seat. We'll circle the upper body over the pelvis. And again, this is going to probably feel a little bit different than when you're sitting on the floor, so enjoy that. Maybe you feel a little more steady now that you've got both your pelvis and 2 feet supporting you, and then circle the other way. Your feet can even come apart a little bit if that makes you feel even more steady and playful in your circles. And then come back to center. Let's take the right ankle and roll it around. So the foot's going to stay in contact with the ground, but you're going to come up on your toes and roll your ankle. And do it in both directions. Do maybe 2, 3 circles in one direction and then the other. Starting with the right foot. And then we're going to switch over to the left. Now, depending on your dominant side, you might actually find one side a little trickier to reverse direction. Most of us have a lead foot. So be sure to circle in both directions. Good. And then just walk the feet wide, so just nice and wide here, and we're just going to put your hands on your knees and come forward a little bit. Just a little opening to the inner thighs. Just lean into that a little bit. Maybe push through the 4 corners of your feet, lift and spread your toes. And then come back to center. Take the left leg and bring it up over the right. Get comfortable in your seat. If this is tight, you're just going to flex that foot and hold this. If this feels like, ooh, that's pretty tight, stay there. If it feels like you could go a little deeper, bring the palms of each hand to the heel and to the knee, and we're just going to rotate the leg up and down. Foot is flexed, so we're not rotating the knee. You're actually working the upper leg, but it feels sort of like you're working the lower leg. Just back and forth. Compressing through the heel and the knee. So you're pushing in like you're trying to squish your tibia, make it shorter. Okay, that's enough of that. And then we're going to take your right hand to your left toes and move the foot back and forth. So take the whole hand, bring it and hold all 5 of your toes, and you're going to move the toes back and forth. You can even bring it into an ankle stretch. Bring it forward, bring it back. My hand is just clasped over all of the toes first of all. And then I'm going to let go of the toes, place my hand on my shin, and circle the ankle here. So we circled the ankle while it was touching the ground. Now we're doing circles in the air. So working the ankle part as well as the toes, adding a little mobility while we continue this hip opening. You know what's next. We are going to interlace our fingers into those toes. So fingers, start working in between each toe. So your index finger is between the big toe and the second toe, and then you just kind of work them down from there as best you can. If you can, just keep working them in there as best you can. And then once your fingers are in there between the toes, just gently rock the foot forward and back. So lift the toes, pull the toes back and forth. Keep working the fingers in there. And then we're going to purposely spread and then crunch up the toes. So first, take your fingers of your right hand and open the fingers. So you're going to kind of open the fingers up, spread the toes, and then you're going to take your hand, make it into a fist, and scrunch the toes into the hand. And then you're going to open everything wide, so spread the fingers wide, try to spread the toes wide, and then crunch them down and in. And then open them up, spread wide. We're going to do that 2 more times. Fingers crunch in, toes curl, open them up, and then we're going to release while they're open. Good. Nice. And then go ahead and put that foot down. Now, before we go to the other foot, I want you to look at your feet and see if they're a different color. See how they feel. All right, second side. Slowly bring the right leg up over if you did the left leg first. Then we'll just take a moment, flex your foot, so pull the toes back. Hand to the knee and the heel, and we're compressing and then rocking the tibia, the lower leg, back and forth. You may notice there are differences from one leg to the other. That's normal, it's okay. We're working in the range that you've got on this foot, on this leg, on this knee, on this ankle. And then you're going to let go, but hold on to the leg at the ankle as you circle the ankle of the right foot this time. Do some nice big circles. Move that foot around, try to open up the toes a little bit. And then you can bring your hand to the toes. You're going to put all of your fingers over the toes as we move the toes back and forth, and even maybe pull back slightly on the foot. So get a nice stretch to all the toes back and forth. Shouldn't hurt. None of this should hurt. It might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it shouldn't feel like pain. It should feel like gentle stretching, maybe stretching you don't do often enough. Maybe feels great. Feels great for me, but I know, you know, toe things and foot things and ankle things happen. All right, so it's that time where we start working those fingers in between the toes. So index finger goes between the big toe and the second toe, and then work those fingers down and in between as best you can. Sometimes it takes a minute. You just move the foot around as best you can to get the fingers in there. And just give the toes a moment to settle into that stretched out position before you start opening your fingers and then curling the toes. So open, spread, curl them in, close it down. So back and forth. So it's a relax, contract, relax, contract. And again, might be a little uncomfortable, but shouldn't be painful. Should feel like the toes start opening up in that space. All right, you can go ahead and start working the fingers out of there, and then just circle the ankle a little bit, move the toes. Uncross the leg, bring it down to the mat, and then once again, look at your feet, See if they're different colors, how they're feeling. And then we're going to come up into standing, and we'll put the top half of our foot on our blanket. And you can just move your chair over to the side for the moment. We're not done with the chair, but you can move it over to the side for a bit as you take the front half of your foot and move it onto a blanket or a small pillow. So the front of the foot is just slightly elevated compared to the heel as we get a little calf stretch, little Achilles stretch. Now, if you're unsteady, of course, have your chair over here next to you. So if you'd like to have your chair here while you're doing this for balance, absolutely okay to do that. So if it does feel like, oh, I'm going to fall back with this, have your chair there so you can hold on, or if you're next to a wall, you can hold on there. And as we're standing on that blanket, getting the stretch to the calf, maybe look down at your toes, see if you can spread them out just a little bit. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to step off of the blanket so we can move it to the center of our yoga mat. And again, we're going to have the chair sort of close by if you need it for balance as we stand on our uneven surface. So for those of you that don't need an uneven surface, if the yoga mat is challenging to your balance, you don't have to stand on the uneven surface, but we'll get into a little bit of a tree pose here on an uneven surface. And again, you can have your chair there for balance if you would like. So here we are on our uneven surface. Look down, lift and spread your toes. Roll your shoulder blades back, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Tree pose on your blanket. We'll start by balancing on the right leg. So the left foot comes and lifts to the inside of the ankle, or you can lift up below the knee. And then just take a moment, hold here, bring your arms out wide, and snap your fingers. And then you can stop snapping, bring your hands back together in front of your heart. And then we're going to add a little turn of the head to the right. Center. And then turn to the left. Center and release. Shake it out. Balance isn't about being perfectly still. You'll see there's a lot of motion, a lot of fluidity to your balance, and that just means your whole balance system is working and your core is working and everything is doing its job to keep you upright. Second side, hands together. If you need to step off of your blanket and be on the solid ground, that is fine. We'll balance on the left side this time. The right foot comes either to the left ankle. You can keep your toes down here or lift up underneath the knee. Take a moment here and find some steadiness. Open up the arms wide. Snap just the right hand. Snap the left. Both together. Snapping your fingers. And you can stop snapping, hands together in front of your heart. Slowly look to your left. Center. Look to your right. Oh, I guess I said one thing and did the opposite. Back to center. Doesn't really matter. We look to both sides and release the foot down. Ah, good. Walk your feet apart just a little bit and then let's circle the hips. And you can go ahead and step off your blanket. Move it to the side. Stand so you can hold on to your chair. Quadriceps stretch, moving into dancer pose. Now, as we move into the dancer, you can hold on or you can let go. But let's hold on as we stretch out the right quad first. So you're going to hold on to your right foot or your pant leg. And if this is just not for you, then, do a nice balanced pose that does work for you, or get a sip of water. All right, so we're getting this nice hold on our ankle, getting stretched to the quad. So we'll get that stretch first before we let go. Now, as we start letting go, I'm going to move my hand up my ankle a little bit so I can flex my foot and not hold on to the toes, but feel free to hold on to whatever part of the foot feels good. And then you're going to start lifting your left arm. If you're still with me and you want to keep going, we're going to push the right knee back as we reach the left arm forward. And push the sole of your foot to the sky. And then we slowly come back. You can hold on and release. Now, the other way is you can hold on for this the whole time. So you can hip hinge and get that stretch without letting go. Second side. This time, holding on with the right hand, grasp your left ankle or a little bit above the ankle if you can reach it. And we start with the stretch. Finding your balance on the right foot. Now I'm going to start moving my hand up above the ankle a little bit so I can flex my foot. And this way, as I'm reaching my knee back, my foot is reaching for my ceiling. Now you can hold on here or let go. As we start to hip hinge, reaching forward with the right arm, lifting the sole of the left foot towards the sky. And then we start bringing it in. Hold on when you need to, and release. And that was, a little bit of advanced balance, so don't worry if you felt like you needed to modify that a lot. Let's walk the knees or the feet wide and get a little inner thigh stretch. And remember, some days everything in class will seem great and you do it all, and some days, there's a few things you skip. That doesn't mean this isn't right for you. It just means sometimes things are a little challenging, and it's good to get a little challenge. Nothing is ever meant to make you feel bad. It's just to see where you can go. What can you try? But always listen to your body. Sometimes your body says, I'm not doing that, and that's okay. All right, come back to center. Now you're going to flip your chair around. And we'll do a little triangle with the chair, which is always fun. So we just opened up the inner thigh a little bit. My chair is on my left side, so my left foot is going to come under the chair just a little bit. I'm going to walk my right foot back. So coming into Trikonasana triangle position, but instead of reaching down my leg for triangle, I'm going to have my hand on this, which just gives you that support so you can really open up. So bring your arms out wide. Left hand is out over that left chair, and then we're going to lift it, reach it out, let the left hand come down to the seat, and reach the right arm up. And then you can just play with how deep do you want to work that left leg. Maybe you scooch those toes forward. Maybe you stick the right hip back a little bit more. Maybe you can look up at your right thumb when you're steady like this. Your upper body is supported on the chair, so go ahead and explore what that feels like with the support. Start to bend the left knee a little bit, if you can, and come back up and let your hands come down. Now, I need to move my chair to the other side so I can keep looking at your beautiful faces. If you don't need to move your chair, if you want to just look at the wall or look away, that's fine. And we'll do the same thing to prep this time. My right foot is coming under the chair. My left foot will step back. Back foot is parallel to the back edge of my mat. And again, with that upper body support, maybe you can bring your legs a little wider than you normally do. Arms up. Right arm lifts and lengthens the right side of the body so you can bring the hand down and the left arm reaches up and really feel that reach. The right big toe lifted off of the ground a little bit. Push through the four corners of the feet. Where can you maximize this pose because you're holding on to the chair? Where can you lengthen? Where can you breathe? And then start to bend the right knee a little bit as you come back, up, and release down. Step your feet together. All right, we are going to make our way onto the mat. I would love to do our final pose with my legs on the chair today, so I'm going to leave it right as it is. And I'm actually even going to put my blanket on there for a little bit of cushion. But now I'm going to move down onto my back, and we're going to do a little bridge pose before we come into final resting pose. So come on down with me. Make your way to your back slowly. And then once you are down here, we'll bring both knees into the chest. And circle the ankles. So give everybody a moment to get down here. Get the knees in, circle the ankles. And we're going to plant the feet down. Take the right leg up to the sky, hamstring stretch, and then we're going to circle the ankle again. Balance starts at the feet. So lots of attention to the toes and the feet today, the ankles. The foundation of our balance, starting with our toes, our feet, our ankles. Let's stretch out the left leg now, bring the right down. Ankle circles. Take some deep breaths here. Left leg can come down as we make our way into a little bridge pose. Feet solidly planted on the yoga mat, elbows in close, fingers spread wide, shoulders back and on your yoga mat. Exhale and lift. Dig the elbows in, maybe straighten your arms and press your fifth finger and the outside of your palm down into the yoga mat to help lift a little higher. And then lower down. One more time. Almost like you're chopping down on your yoga mat. You want to keep this whole from the fifth finger to the elbow, actively pressing into your yoga mat, and then exhale and lift. Like you're trying to push down through the yoga mat. Maybe your triceps get activated there. And release down. Full body stretch, bring the arms up overhead. And if you have room, either on the outside of your chair or under your chair, I'm going to go to the outside of my chair. Big full body stretch. And then into happy baby. After your happy baby feels like it's done, start moving into final resting pose. If you are doing up on the chair like I am, you can start getting your feet arranged on your chair. If you're going out flat, go ahead and do that. Hands can be on your body or out to the side. Start to move your hands and your feet. If your feet are up on the chair, maybe start walking your knees in towards the front of the chair and off of the chair. So you can slowly start to roll to a side. Hands can help you make your way back to a seated position, maybe down here on the mat. And once you're back to a comfortable seat, bring your hands together in front of your heart and take a moment of gratitude. We'll finish our class by chanting Om together one time. Let's breathe in together first. And exhale together, long and slow. Inhale for Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your presence, your time. Bow your head. And when you're ready to open your eyes and lift your head, thank you, everybody. I hope you had fun with some balance and footwork today, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.